France sweated through its hottest night ever recorded, Monday through Tuesday, and reported that some 40 people had drowned in the past 5 days.
2 whales have been killed off the coast of Iceland 2 days after commercial hunting resumed.
Meteo France on Tuesday placed 54 departments covering much of the western half of the country on red alert and 35 other departments on orange heat wave alert following forecast of exceptionally high temperatures for the week. According to the Weather Alert Agency, daytime temperatures will rise to 40 degrees and even 42 degrees in the west, while nighttime lows will not fall below 18 to 24 degrees across most of France. In total, more than 90% of the French population is exposed to extreme exceptional heat this week. The alerts come after at least 40 people were reported to have drowned in France while swimming in unsupervised areas to seek relief from a heat wave gripping the country and other parts of Europe. Speaking after a crisis meeting on Tuesday, Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu said the death toll since Thursday was mainly young people. Meanwhile, Spain kicked off the summer with large parts of the country on alert due to temperatures expected to hover around 40 degrees Celsius. In the capital, Madrid, tourists and locals sought shade, cold drinks and ice cream to keep cool. The heatwave is expected to scorch Spain at least through Wednesday, while Belgium, Germany, Italy and the UK continue to experience sweltering temperatures. More than 200,000 people across Europe died from heat-related causes over the last 4 years, and most of the fatalities were preventable, according to the World Health Organization (WHO).
These 2 whales killed off the coast of Iceland are brought back to shore. The kill overnight Sunday comes 2 days after commercial hunting resumed, ending a 2-year pause. It marks the first catches since 2023. Before the set-off, a protester had attached himself to the mast of one of the vessels in the port of Reykjavik but climbed down and was escorted away by police, according to local media. Iceland, Norway and Japan are the only 3 countries that still openly permit whaling, despite international condemnation from the public and animal welfare organizations. Iceland cancelled its whale hunt over the past 2 years, partly because economic problems had cut demand and the industry was not deemed profitable enough. Iceland's Marine and Freshwater Research Institute has recommended that no more than 150 fin whales are caught in the 2026 season.
The public row between Polish President Karol Nawrocki and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky undermines political unity and plays into Russia's hands, the European Commission has warned as tensions escalate.
If there's something we have learned over the past 5 years, facing this unprovoked war in Ukraine, is that unity is our strongest tool. And anything that undermines that unity, including disputes, in this case between a member state and Ukraine, is not helpful.
Tensions have risen since late May, when Zelensky signed a decree naming a military unit after the Ukrainian Insurgent Army, a formation founded during World War II. The UPA is admired in Ukraine for its resistance against the Soviet Union. But in Poland, the UPA is held responsible for killing tens of thousands of Poles, an event that Warsaw considers genocide. In response, Poland's nationalist president announced on Friday that he was stripping Zelensky of the Order of the White Eagle, Poland's highest honor. The spat comes just a few days before Poland is due to host the Ukraine Recovery Conference in Gdansk. Zelensky, who was expected to attend, will skip the ceremony. Ukrainian Prime Minister will lead the delegation. Kazakhstan's President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has begun a strategic visit to Brussels. Astana is seeking a much deeper strategic partnership with the European Union. Kazakhstan's ambassador to the EU, Roman Vasilenko, told Euronews program Europe Today that despite already strong relations, there is significant room for growth.
We are in the heart of Eurasia. We border Russia, we border China, but we would like very much to strengthen our mutually beneficial ties with the European Union.
European companies have invested around 184 billion euros in Kazakhstan, largely in the energy sector. However, the ambassador argued that the biggest untapped opportunities lie elsewhere. He highlighted transport and logistics, AI, green hydrogen and renewable energy. Critical minerals are another pillar of Kazakhstan's pitch to Europe. The country already produces 21 of the 34 raw materials identified as strategic under the EU's Critical Raw Materials Act. Energy security remains at the center of the EU-Kazakhstan relationship. Kazakhstan has emerged as one of Brussels' most important alternative energy suppliers. The country is already the EU's third largest provider of crude oil.
Officials from the European Commission and 15 member states discreetly met with the Taliban delegation on Tuesday in Brussels in an attempt to speed up the deportation of Afghan migrants. Deportations have proven particularly difficult for Afghans who were among the top nationalities served with return orders in 2025.
It will also be an opportunity for member states and for member states at technical level to establish contacts, because it will be those member states that will have to carry out returns, and they have to also be in touch themselves. And again, we speak here in the very first place about persons who pose a security threat and about serious criminals.
Rights groups have criticized the meeting. Activists from the rights NGO Amnesty International unfurled a banner reading "Shame" outside the European Commission in Brussels.
On est au-delà du scandale. On est véritablement dans l'ordre du crachat au visage des valeurs prétendument portées par l'Union européenne et par la Belgique qui prétendent défendre le droit international, les droits humains, alors que là, elles se compromettent avec un régime qui est complètement liberticide, qui piétine les droits humains chaque jour et qui le fait de plus en plus.
Belgium stressed that granting visas to the delegation does not imply recognition of the Taliban.
And the authorization of the activity is one issue, and alleged misconduct is a different type of question.
The European Commission has stated that former Commissioner Dimitris Avramopoulos' approved NGO activities are a separate matter from the alleged misconduct, which is suspected to be a part of the ongoing investigation. When asked whether the Commission's credibility is damaged, the spokesperson underlined that everything was done by the book.
At that time and at that moment, back in 2022, when we looked at the matter, we had no indication of any breach of the conditions that were included in the respective college decision.
In contrast to the Commission's ethical and practical procedures, Avramopoulos' NGO activities are being investigated as part of a cash for influence corruption network. For that purpose, the Belgian Supreme Court Prosecutor's Office has just forwarded a European arrest warrant to the Greek Parliament, along with a formal request to lift Avramopoulos' immunity, as he is still a member of the ruling New Democracy Party. After his term as commissioner ended in 2019, Avramopoulos has become a member of the honorary board of Fight Impunity, an NGO founded by the suspected mastermind Antonio Panzeri to influence European Parliament decision-making, and received €75,000 in total. Avramopoulos categorically rejects any involvement in the case and states that he will not invoke parliamentary immunity, calling for a full judicial investigation. The former Migration Commissioner stated that all monthly payments were transparently declared, taxed and formally approved by the European Commission.
Peter Murrell, the former chief executive of the Scottish National Party and ex-husband of Scotland's former First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, has been sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in prison. The 61-year-old was convicted in May of embezzling more than £400,000 of party funds.
If you had been found guilty of this charge after trial, I would have imposed the sentence of 7 years imprisonment. Having pled guilty at the preliminary hearing, I impose a sentence of 5 years, 3 months imprisonment. I shall backdate that sentence to the 25th of May 2026 when you're first remanded in custody.
Some of his purchases included 2 luxury watches, a coffee machine, items from Montblanc and a motorhome. The police received a complaint for possible mismanagement of the party finances in 2021. Officers carried out a search of Morel's home in 2023 and arrested him. Morel served as chief executive of the SNP from 2001 to 2023. Police Scotland said the sentence was proof that those who flout the law will not escape justice, regardless of how high a profile or role they may hold.
European Parliament's Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee approved the long-awaited digital euro on Tuesday, as the bloc seeks to drastically reduce its structural reliance on United States-controlled payment networks. Data from the European Central Bank reveals that American giants Visa and MasterCard currently process 61% of card payments in the euro area, controlling nearly all cross-border transactions.
2% target.
Amid rising geopolitical tensions, the proposed digital token will function as central bank money backed by the Frankfurt institution, designed to complement physical cash rather than replace it. Consumers will hold the currency in a dedicated wallet that supports both online and offline options and features advanced privacy protocols that prevent the central bank from tracking individual identities. While European lawmakers aim to reach a final agreement with member states before the end of the year, global competitors are taking significantly different approaches to financial tech. China has introduced a digital yuan, and Russia is preparing a digital ruble for September, whereas Washington has abandoned a central bank token to back privately issued dollar-linked stablecoins.
Be now the leader by a lot more.